I mean, what the income tax brings in about $1 trillion a year. So you guys are getting more money than the income tax brings in. You've got all those other taxes, of course, and they're levying more. And the U.S. military budget is bigger than the entire world combined. England, France, Russia, China, Israel, Iran, South Africa, Mexico, Brazil, Venezuela. Bigger budget than all other military expenditures combined. That's on record. Of course the military is going to eat America. That's what it does. It eats countries. It sends in black ops. It hires terrorists. It hires rebel groups. It overthrows systems. Or it backs dictators. Of course they're training to confiscate our guns. Of course they're training to round us up. Of course they're training to suppress the American people who don't want banks taking us over. Because who do you think runs the Pentagon? What did Eisenhower warn you about in '61 in his farewell address? Have you listened to the full address? Have you watched it? You could search engine it in 10 seconds and watch the 14-minute final address. Okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if he was alive today. They'd have Pentagon training manuals saying he's a terrorist. I've got FEMA on video demonizing George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, saying they're bad. That's in Road to Tyranny. That happened before 9/11. That was in 2000 in Kansas City. So it's on record that the military trains to confiscate your guns. And last night I stayed late to put together a 10-minute video boiling all this down and documenting it that's going to go up in the next 2 hours at our YouTube channel. And we've got 2 new videos just for PrisonPlanet.tv members, a speech I gave in Austin a month ago, and, of course, Jason Burma's speech that he gave in San Antonio. Both of those going up for PrisonPlanet.tv members today. Paul Joseph Watson linking them up there right now as we speak. But we have a very special viral video. Alex Jones sets the record straight, reaches out to the military, is going to be the title of the video. Okay, I'm going to go through a bunch of other news on the other side of this quick break. And we're going to get more. Well, I'll tell you about when we come back. Also, I know for the last 2 weeks I keep saying I'm going to announce the winners of the naked body scanning contest. And I'll explain myself on the other side. They will be announced today. They will be announced today at the end of the show. Stay with us. We are back live. I'm going to open the phones up in the next hour, but specifically for military, police, veterans, or contractors that have been part of the military drills in the last decade, but it's all coming to a head now where they're training almost the entire military, not just the Army and Marine Corps. Again, I have family in the military. I've talked to all of them, and every single one of them says yes. They are even training the helicopter repair people, the people that work on the tanks, the people that work on the Humvees. They are training the people that are in procurement and the people that are in, running the canteens. Everyone is being trained to engage the number one enemy, and that is the American people, conservative gun owners, and returning veterans. And we have that in the MIAC and Homeland Security reports. We have that in countless other documents. And now we have it in these 2 training scenarios used, and again, not just at Fort Knox in training that's been going on the last 2 weeks, where they have these scenarios where they tell the troops the Tea Partiers want to kill you, the militias want to kill you. I mean that's brainwashing. We also have all the other confirmed reports. And I remember 3 years ago it came out that the ROTC in San Antonio is exclusively training Army ROTC at the colleges when they have drills on the weekend to take on militias. It's just militias. So we have all the documents. We have mainstream news articles where, oh, hey, in Arcadia, Iowa, they're going to lock down the town and go searching door to door in a gun confiscation drill. I mean, that was in the newspaper. Then I had the colonel on, and he admitted it. And they got a local gun show owner to be part of it and play the part of the American gun dealer they're hunting down. We called the guy up, and he refused to come on. He was scared. But I even had the colonel on the show. But it's one thing to have all these documents and even video of it. It's another thing to hear the troops call in. We had quite a few active duty call in and say, absolutely, I don't know how much I can tell you. Well, you're engaged in treason, even if you don't like it. How much can you tell us? We already know about it. But it's just good to hear. And I said, let me guess, I'm being demonized. Oh, absolutely. They say you're a den of conspiracy, that you hate the military, that you're causing cop killing. Well, what is the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center saying in all their public brainwashing? Then they have their classified intelligence reports. They wrote the MIAC together. They wrote the Homeland Security master document used by all local police forces. And they go in and they teach them, and they project a video and images of Alex Jones up on the wall. They put Ron Paul up on the wall, and they say, these men are terrorist enablers. Well, you saw them listed last week with the Southern Poverty Law Center. Ron Paul, myself, and Andrew Napolitano as terrorist extremist enablers. Now think about that. We're a government of the people, for the people, by the people. This is a republic. We don't have a king here. Ron Paul's got a 82% approval rating in the last Gallup poll. The banks have a 1% approval rating in Gallup and Angus and Reid polls that we've covered here. They got 1,000-to-1 phone calls against the banker bailout. And you read these training manuals for police, military, you name it, and they're anti-Federal Reserve. They're anti-banking. They say the Federal Reserve is private. They're liars. They want to attack the banks. And it's the Army that's dispatched at the end of the Fed rallies. We have those documents. Guarding the Federal Reserve buildings, even though there's no money in them, it's just a bureaucratic operation, as if grandmas and white people and Hispanics and black people, just an average crowd out there peacefully with signs saying, stop looting us, and there's Army there watching you. Now, that's tyranny, that's Soviet Russia, that's communist China, okay? Period. It's evil. It's un-American. It's tyranny. It is banana republic. It is despotism. It is oppression. It is third world cesspit by any gauge. Meanwhile, the southern border has completely collapsed. There are deaths every day, ranchers being murdered everywhere, police being murdered, troops being shot at, troops being wounded, homes being burned down, rocket attacks, truck bombs going off, and it's the back of the newspaper. Mexican troops coming across our side of the border, firing automatic weapons, helicopters coming as much as 10 miles in, Mexican Marines crawling all over. Nothing. Zero. Just massive organized training to engage the American people. That, ladies and gentlemen, is treason. That, ladies and gentlemen, is corruption. That, ladies and gentlemen, is illegal. And the craziest part about this, I bring this up with the soldiers I talk to in private. I bring it up to the officers I talk to in private. And I say, haven't you noticed, though, that they're saying there's no world government? They're saying the military isn't training to take guns. I mean, in fact, in these training manuals that are public, they say these crazy people hate police and America. They hate the military. They believe private banks are taking over. They believe that we're training to confiscate their firearms. That's why we're training to confiscate their firearms. So let me be very specific here. Are you guys under total mind control? Are you as stupid as the Pentagon thinks you are? You're there being trained that you have to fight the American people because we're crazy and believe that military is going to be deployed in America for checkpoints and gun confiscation. And then you have drills to confiscate our guns, to round up dissenters, to go door to door with pickup list and pick people up. That's in this new training exercise. U.S. Army trains to confront Tea Party terrorists. Military personnel blow the whistle on the exercise, which involved troops taking protesters to concentration camps.